Americans come to talk about real issues: faith, freedom, and the future of our country. From the heart of Mississippi to the rest of the nation, you're locked in to The Real Morning Show with your host on the radio and live stream, Daryl Arnold, bringing it to you straight every single morning, unleashed and unapologetic. Let's
Good morning. We are unleashed and we're definitely unapologetic. Today, my friends, is Hump Day, middle of the week, Wednesday. If you're seeing this online, please go ahead and share it. We're at 104.3 FM, The Pirate, located in the beautiful Pearl, Mississippi studios, in right in the middle of Pearl, ladies and gentlemen. You never been to Pearl, Mississippi? It's the crossroads to the state and the crossroads to the country, by the way, where I-20, I-55, and everything meet up right in the heart of Pearl. So, thanks again for joining us. We are also live streaming at YouTube at Unleashed Talk with Daryl Arnold. We're also on Facebook at Get Unleashed Media, and we're at Daryl Arnold MS, and we're at Rumble, Unleashed Talk One, and so much more. Thanks for joining me. And again, please hit that share like button, subscribe button, subscribe to all the YouTube channels. We love all of y'all. We love getting on here and being able to talk in the mornings. And thanks again. So, on Monday morning, we were all discussing the assassination attempt on Donald J. Trump, which is the third one that we know about. There could have been more. There probably was more. There probably was more. And I don't doubt that whatsoever, actually. I don't doubt it at all. So jump in the comment section. We have the super chat going this morning, brought to you by one of our brand new sponsors right here at Unleash Media and Unleash Talk. So we definitely want to thank those guys for coming on board. And guess what? They're right here in the wonderful Pearl, Mississippi. Okay, right in the wonderful Pearl, Mississippi. You cannot beat that. And who are we talking about? Well, we're talking about Electrical Solutions Services. Electrical Solution Services. Who does not need electrical services? They're powering Central Mississippi with reliable electrical solutions. 769 572 7597. 769 572 7597. Somebody's saying radio silence. I'm not sure what's going on with that. If you can hear me on the radio, let me know. Let me know. Let me know, no. We should be wide open on the radio. We should be wide open on the radio. Anyway, again, let me know on the radio silence. Anyway, so that's our new sponsor at Electrical Solutions, etc. We are coming up on 6:36 now. Okay, they got me on the radio now. Good. But if you can't listen on the radio, guys, always remember that you can check out the live streams at all the places I mentioned earlier, featuring YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, and more. So we're talking about our new sponsor that came on board. That's electrical. Everybody needs something electrical. Let's just go ahead and say that. If you don't, something's wrong. But electrical solution and services located in Pearl, by the way, which is veteran owned. And on this show, with all my listeners, we really, really, really appreciate all the veterans. Period. They do things like residential electrical repairs, commercial electrical services and upgrades, breaker replacement. They're also certified Tesla installers and Generac generator, which was needed a lot of places last weekend, sales and services. So hit them up. Hit them up immediately at 769-572-7597. Let them know Unleashed Talk with Daryl Arnold or Daryl Arnold sent you. There was Ole Miss played State last night in Pearl, Mississippi. That was a big game. But I remember when baseball tickets were $3 to $5. Man, what's up with these prices, ladies and gentlemen? What is up with these prices? Because it's not anywhere near where it used to be with concerts, ball games, NFL, NBA, MLB, all of that. If you would make it more important and make it more affordable, you would probably have more people there. Just saying. But what do I know, right? What do I know, right? Well, I know a few things. And I know when you price things out of reach for people, then you did just that. You did just exactly that. You made it out of reach. People are working 2, 3, and sometimes 4 jobs right now. And I understand that all these people have to make money. I get it. Trust me. Hell, I have to make money. But don't price things out where people actually can't afford your service, your products, and all that. It doesn't work. And it doesn't work, but it's not because of you, not because they don't like your service or like your event. They can't afford your event or so. Dang. I mean, seriously. But that's another show for another time. But it's extremely true. Extremely true. Now we're starting to load up on the super chats on YouTube and Rumble. Let's get the Facebook numbers up. Let's get those share buttons a working, a rolling, a rolling, rolling, rolling. We do have Clayton Pell that checked into the show, who actually does, in fact, work with our new sponsor. So I want to thank Clayton for reaching out. Also, thank them for listening at Electrical Solutions and Services in Pearl, Mississippi. Veteran owned, y'all. Veteran owned. 6:40 in the morning, Wednesday, hump day, April 29th. The year is 2026. Do it. Do it, and then do it again. Do it again. All right, so we're gonna get this party started. We're going to get this PARTY started. Has there anything been going on in the country lately? Well, yes, I think so. I think so. I really think so. So, yesterday, Dr. David Morins, the advisor to Anthony demonized Fauci, the guy that tried to make us all stay at home, not go anywhere, not work. depend on the government and take vaccines. Okay. Well, Dr. David Morins, the advisor to Anthony Fauci, was indicted. Finally, yes, on conspiracy and destruction of federal records. It is about time. It is about time. And thank God for Senator Ron Johnson, because he never gave up on this, ever. He did not give up on it. He kept fighting, him and Rand Paul and quite a few others. And good for them.
Well, first of all, I want to give a big shout out to my staff who literally found this needle in the haystack. We got a document dump of something like 115,000 pages. By the way, not from HHS or NIH. We got this from one of the universities that they were working with, providing grant money to. But in that tranche of 115,000 pages, my staff identified an email that David Morins, advisor to Fauci, wrote. And to paraphrase, said, we found a way to make foiable documents disappear. And oh, by the way, people are emailing me on the subject. Don't email to my official account, email to my Gmail account. So old Dr. Morins, after 2 years plus of that disclosure, was arrested and indicted on conspiracy and destruction of federal records. And it's about time.
Yeah, it is about time. And now we need to go after Dr. Anthony Fauci, because not only is it about time with this guy, going all the way back, to the AIDS epidemic in the 80s. Dr. Anthony Fauci. Okay? That's the truth. That's the truth. Anyway, thanks to Senator Johnson for not stopping on that. This crime was against humanity, period. And they should get all of them involved. They should get all of them. Line them up. Lock them up. Throw away the key. Throw away the key. You can indict a ham sandwich, though. And if nobody goes to jail, it's kind of like the same team. So let's start going ahead and moving forward with these people. And I'm not saying that people out there are not trying, because they really are. But we have to see the perp walks. We have to see the perp walks. We do. But will Fauci go free is the question. Will Dr. Anthony Fauci go free? I can't answer that, but I can tell you that he doesn't need to. That's all I can say on that. That is all I can say on that subject. Hey, here's a text message, and our text line is 601 918 8409. 601 918 8409. Brought to you by Cypress Point. That's cypresspointms.com. The text is from, we'll just put it this way. The text is from Ricky. Accountability has been years and years overdue. He is still low level compared to Fauci. Now, let's go get the big fish now. We got the minnows and the little small fish. Slippery slope. So the question remains. This is another question from people with their job. J-O-B. Remember what all they did to people with jobs back in the day. I'm not going to mention this person's name. So the question remains, who do I sue? S-U-E. Who do I bring a lawsuit against to recoup my entire career? That talks about also the people who refused the vax. When will we ever get justice? When will you? You got fired. You got stomped. You got tested. You got thrown to the curb because you didn't follow the dictatorship. But yet that's what they call Trump. Backwards, ass backwards. That's what it is. Who do we sue? Let's sue all of them. David Hall, good morning. Texting the text line at 601-918-8409. Remember the Fauci quote when being questioned. I am science. And the Senate was basically the same kind of evil at the time. It just was. Science, ladies and gentlemen, science was his always fallback on. And let's just make it clear. Dr. Fauci never saw patients before. So anybody out there who still believes that Dr. Fauci is the know-it-all, be-it-all, he never saw any patients. Never. And that's what was happening then. That's what was happening right then. Is there a big Kentucky Derby party going on this weekend? Yes, it is. It happens at Cameron's Garage, located at Cypress Point Resort. The Derby party starts at 4 p.m. on Saturday, May 2nd. This coming Saturday, we'll have some music inside the garage. Lovin' Ledbetter started at 3:30, going to about 6:30. Of course, they'll take a little break when the Derby runs for a minute or two, and the celebration will continue. After Lovin' Ledbetter on the main stage, we will have, been talking about this for months, Spank the Monkey. You remember them. They played all the places you went to. They played all the places we all went to. And their only appearance in the area will be this Saturday, May 2nd at Cameron's Garage. Spank the Monkey, following Lovin' Ledbetter on Saturday night, May 2nd, 2026, this Saturday. Tickets. Let's talk about tickets. CypressPointMS.com. All you do is click on events. CypressPointMS.com. Click on events. You will see the Kentucky Derby party. It is $10. That is unheard of in today's times. Unheard of. $10. People pay $15 just to walk into a normal bar/nightclub with nothing going on. So it's $10 in advance to get the Kentucky Derby party and two amazing live bands. One of them being Spank the Monkey, and before that, Lovin' Ledbetter. Now, if you wait to pay at the door, it's only $15, but you can save $5. Save $5 now at CypressPointMS.com. CypressPointMS.com. Click on events. May 2nd, this Saturday. Do it. All right. Congressman Benny Thompson, in office over 33 years. Ridiculous. We need term limits. He was among a group of 10 incumbent Congressional Black Caucus members who received an endorsement from who? The Southern Poverty Law Center Action Fund. Well, as you all know, or if you don't know, catch up. The SPLU, the Southern Poverty Law Firm and all that, SPLA, they're in major trouble. The SPLC is in major trouble. Thompson endorsed by SPLC. This is a cover story on Magnolia Tribune. But we all knew, the people that do this and keep up with this, about what was going on with the SPLC. The group is affiliated with the Southern Poverty Law Center, which the United States Justice Department, in other words, the DOJ, has charged 11 indictments as of recently with fraud, money laundering, conspiracy, and so much more. But Mississippi's 2nd District Congressman, old bad boy Benny Thompson, a big fat D, was among that group that was receiving endorsements from the quote firm, FIRM. Thompson, who has served for over 33 years, like I said, which is beyond ridiculous. I hope they get him too. I really do. We all do. We all do. The SPLC funnel millions of dollars, millions, to individuals inside extremist groups, left and right. So shut your mouth. Left and right. While telling donors that it was fighting for only their side or the same group. SPLC Action Fund bills itself as a catalyst for racial justice in the South and beyond the nation, working in partnership with communities to dismantle white supremacy, strengthen intersectional movements, and advance human rights to all people. But that's not what they were doing, y'all. They were actually funding white supremacists. They were funding the KKK. They were funding all of this. Just ridiculous. We all knew it, but it's about time they got the full-blown 11 indictments. Indictments. Among the other Democrat members besides Benny Thompson that were endorsed by the SPLC Action Fund, FUND, in other words, yo money or dark money, Sanford Bishop, Georgia, Troy Carter, Louisiana, Cleo Fields, Louisiana, Maxwell Frost, Florida, Lucy McBath, Georgia, Terry Sewell, Alabama, Frederica Wilson, Florida. I'll let y'all guess. Every one of them has a big fat D besides their name. Of course. Of course it does. Would you think any different? No. No. Kevin Sims had commented on this post saying, because of course, yes, of course. Why would we expect any different from Benny Thompson? Imagine that is another comment. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? Thank you, Benny Thompson. We know you're right for the job. Yeah, whatever. Get out of my chat. Received and sealed in an envelope, I'm sure. Of course. Of course. Time for him to retire anyway. He should get in trouble, but he needs to get out first. And he just needs to go, kind of like Gomer Pyle said on this particular charge. Surprise, surprise, surprise. And then we'll put a big NOT at the end. Worst thing that ever happened in Mississippi There's a comment from Clyde. Thanks and good morning. Yes. Of course it is. Bad boy Benny. Enough beating up on Benny Thompson because he's just not that important to me. Sorry. He's not that important to me. Just not that important. But he is important because of the state I live in. He is important because of all the scams that he's ran on his own people in Mississippi and how he's held them back for decade after decade, and people still vote for him, some of them. Why? So our job is to let people know the more you continue to vote for the fools, they will continue to win these elections. Not cool, but true. Not cool, but true. All right, y'all, we're going to be right back. It is 6:57 in the morning on Wednesday, April 29th. My name is Daryl Arnold. Unleashed, uninhibited, unapologetic. We're the Unleashed Media Network.
Reliable electrical work in central Mississippi? Call the pros at Electrical Solutions and Services right here in Pearl. From residential repairs to full commercial electrical services, they've got you covered. Panel upgrades, lighting installation, troubleshooting, even certified Tesla installation, and Generac generator sales and service. Plus, they're veteran-owned, bringing integrity and experience to every job. Located on St. Paul Street in Pearl, Mississippi. Call today. Electrical Solutions and Services, powering Central Mississippi with reliable electrical solutions.
Call 769-572-7597 today. Hey folks, Daryl Arnold here with 104.3 FM and Unleashed Media. If you're looking for a fresh start in 2026, listen up. Mississippi Coding Academies and the Next program are launching brand new classes in January of 2026. No cost to you. You can learn coding, AI, cybersecurity, drones, robotics, digital operations. These are real in-demand skills that lead to real Mississippi jobs. No degree needed, no experience needed, just the drive to build a better future. Classes begin January 2026 with locations across the state and online. Visit mscoding.org. That's mscoding.org and discover what's next for you.
Don't forget to check out Cypress Point Resort. Memories are made at Cypress Point. Close to home, yet it feels miles away. At Cypress Point, you can truly get away from it all. You can step back to a simpler time, yet enjoy all the amenities of today. Cameron's Garage is a sports bar and music venue. There's a lunch buffet every day inside Cypress Point. They also have a steakhouse and the tavern. The Tavern is a quaint little place with live music Wednesday through Saturday. And of course, you've got the Safari Park and Petting Zoo. Don't forget about all the event halls, including the Wedding Chapel and so much more. That's Cypress Point Resort, located at 874 Hollybush Road, Brandon, Mississippi. Contact them at 601-829-1101 or at cypresspointms.com.
You are listening to WPBP 104.3 FM, The Pirate, Pearl, Mississippi.
Wake up!
Welcome back to the Unleashed Media Radio Show and live stream with your host, Daryl Arnold.
We on fire!
We are absolutely on fire this morning. It is Hump Day Wednesday, April 29th. The year is 2026. We are on fire. That's right, on fire. Don't forget that either. 701, y'all. And we were discussing Benny Thompson before we went to break, but we're done with him for now. We all know that he's crooked. He's insane. He's lost his freaking mind. He's been in there way too long. And he's a very crooked politician. Period. End of discussion. I'm sure you heard the commercial during the break. One of our brand new sponsors bringing them on today. So call some friends of mine and friends of yours. That's Electrical Solutions and Services in Pearl, Mississippi. Call them today. Everybody needs an electrician. 769-572-7597, 769-572-7597. Residential, commercial, panel upgrade, Tesla, generator, service, veteran owned. Very important. Give them a call. Jason Stogner Band playing this Friday night at Cameron's Garage. You hadn't been there in a while. That is this coming Friday. It's going to be May 1st. Cannot believe we're rolling into May. This Friday, and then, of course, Saturday night. And Saturday day is the big party, which we'll be discussing that in detail in just a few minutes. Why are there so many teachers, not necessarily around here yet, or hopefully, or never, but why are there so many teachers that are in love? They have this kind of weird love relationship. And I've been really looking into this for month after month after month. I mean, digging deep, real deep. It's a very interesting conversation to have. It's a very interesting outlook to have. And really and truly, it's a very big reason you should put all this on the very top of your prayer list. I don't even have children in school. Okay. But it's that important to me for the future of the country. Why are so many teachers in love with the assassination movement? With the woke movement? Why? I don't know. I do not know the answer. But it absolutely 100% is true. Okay. You know, we're talking about Wisconsin right now again, but we're always talking about all these different states. And what better person to listen to is a 28-year-old that really understands it more than maybe me or you or whatever, because he's in the middle of it and he hasn't been out of high school that long. But this is all real. These are all subjects that we need to talk about. Because before I even heard this audio clip, I was reading that 30% of people from 18 years old to 29 years old, 30%, ladies and gentlemen, think that political violence is okay. What have we come to? Video games? Movies? No, this is real life. But 30% of them think that political violence is okay, which blows my freaking mind.
A working theory yet as to why there are so many teachers in the public school system that are saying and doing the most disgusting, horrific things you could think of. Another teacher, this time in Wisconsin, has been placed on administrative leave after complaining that the person who tried to take President Trump's life failed. This guy posted on X saying he's not impressed with the recent presidential assassins, claiming that it's embarrassing. All of these previous assassins must be spinning in their graves. MAGA, with two A's, Make Americans Great Assassins Again. Sad. But don't worry, though. He was placed on administrative leave, so you know it's being taken very seriously. Maybe it is. Maybe he'll get fired. But do you want somebody like this teaching your children? Do we have a working theory yet as to why there are so many teachers in the public school system that are saying and doing the most disgusting, horrific things you could think of? Another teacher, this time in Wisconsin, has been placed on administrative leave after complaining that the person who tried to take President Trump's life failed.
That's crazy, y'all. That's crazy. You know, it is pretty scary, though. This is a text message from unknown user on YouTube. It's pretty scary. Glad I don't have young children with the world the way it is today. I probably would homeschool them if they were young kids. It's gotten toxic and rotten. Yes. Unfortunately, it has. It really has. I guess the fact that Dee Dee sent me a message saying, look, we weren't paying attention on what goes on in schools, I guess, for decades. And now we're slowly starting to figure out what the hell was going on and what's still going on, sadly. So my answer to that is you better pay attention to what's going on with your children, you youngins at school with their teachers. And it's not just teachers, so let's not pick on teachers. It's the whole freaking administration and other parts of it. Okay, other parts of it. So this is not a bash against teachers if you're a teacher out there. But this is something that needs to be addressed to teachers, especially these ones with crazy ideologies who want the president of the United States hurt or assassinated, and or they're okay with political violence. They're okay with political violence, apparently. Not cool. Not cool at all. So the Trump administration just found 14,000 people, 14,000 more, because there's a lot going on, getting food stamps, SNAP benefits, taxpayer welfare, despite driving. Are you ready for this? Are you ready? Ferraris, Bentleys, Porsche, Range Rover, Maseratis, and more. And they found 14,000. That was just in one state. That was just in one state. These individuals are taking advantage of the American taxpayer. This has been going on forever. We're starting to bust it up, chop it up, and knock it out. Good. So J.D. Vance and his new and improved task force is eliminating fraud, and we should purge them all, my friends. Every one of them.
Sharing. Previously, no data was shared. We had no idea where the taxpayer dollars were spent. Just one red state, the recent dump of data, we found SNAP recipients had more than 2,000 Tesla owners, 200 Alfa Romeo owners, more than 144 that were receiving food stamps were driving Porsches. Again, this is the data dumps we're getting because before we had no accountability on any of these programs. We now are requiring accountability. The blue states are suing us. They don't want to share the data. And can you imagine, this was a red state where there is actually some taxpayer accountability. Imagine what's happening in the blue states if that's happening in the red states.
Just never stops, does it? It never stops, ladies and gentlemen. We need to end all this every bit of this corruption. Hardworking Americans should not be buying lazy, non-working, folks their cars, their fancy cars. They shouldn't. Pulling up to a grocery store in a Lamborghini and swiping a SNAP card. That's a local text. Thank you. Our text line 601-918-8409. 601-918-8409, brought to you by Cypress Point Resorts. The level of entitlement with these people, too, that only exists, by the way, when a system has completely lost its mind and its way. While hardworking Americans, just like you out there listening, are working their butts off and bypassing their own freaking vacation so they can take care of their families. You will not make that make sense to me. I'm sorry. It does not make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. You know, how is this possible, though? Good question. How is this possible when people that make over $40,000 a year are supposedly, quotations, supposedly supposed to be denied access to benefits? I don't know. I guess that would be corruption, my friend. Thanks for the text, but I guess that would be corruption. 13 minutes after the hour, Wednesday, April 29th, the year is 2026. You have tuned into the unleashed, uninhibited, unapologetic live stream and radio show. My name's Daryl Arnold. Thank you for joining me, my friends. Oh, we're going to be talking about gerrymandering for quite a while now because it's going down in states. Big decisions are being made in states. We're going to get into that a little bit more here shortly. Good morning, David Hall. Cindy, good morning, beautiful. Debbie, good morning. Laurie Newman, good morning. But yes, we have got to step up to the plate with these people, the ones we were just talking about. We've got to step up to the plate, ladies and gentlemen. We're tired. We're exhausted from the entitlement. We are exhausted. We are. Now let's talk about Mississippi again. Well, the district that was gerrymandered to protect January 6th committee chairman Benny Thompson. Oh, Benny's in the news today. I love it. In a bad way. But will that come to an end soon? I know it should. But the question was, will the district gerrymandered to protect Benny Thompson soon come to an end? Shad White, our auditor, who is allegedly running for governor as well, asked that exact question. Asked and answered by Shad White. Asked and answered. Let's move on to another cut here. Let's move on to another cut here. But the question that Shad White was asking was, will the district that was gerrymandered, like I said, soon come to an end? And I don't know the answer to that.
Changing who represents you in Washington, D.C. and Congress. So here's the backstory. For years, every state, including Mississippi, has been required to draw our district lines really around race. And as a result, our second congressional district is gerrymandered almost to look like a snake that goes down the Mississippi River and then juts out in a few places. And as a result of that, Congressman Benny Thompson has had a stranglehold on power in that district for a long, long time. So now that might be about to change because the U.S. Supreme Court is going to issue a ruling in a case called Louisiana v. Calais. And that ruling may say that states no longer have to have these gerrymandered districts around race. That would be a good thing because it would mean that incumbents like Benny Thompson no longer get a gerrymandered district designed to protect them. Governor Tate Reeves has taken a leadership role in this. He's told the legislature they're going to come back in session 3 weeks after the Supreme Court hands down its ruling. And really, every other state ought to be doing the same thing.
Yeah. They gerrymandered this because of race. And now some judges, some Supreme Courts are saying, wait a minute, you can't gerrymander something because of race. This is all a good thing. This is all a great thing, technically. It really is. Because enough with the freaking gerrymandering to keep someone like Benny Thompson, and not just Benny Thompson, but other people as well, on both sides, actually, in the same position for that decade after decade after decade after decade. Mississippi has spent decades at or the near bottom of economic measure in District 2, where Benny Thompson is the congressman. So these gerrymandered districts have protected careers like Benny Thompson for way too long. Way too long. Just got a text message from Rick. Benny Thompson is a disgrace to my state, Mississippi. It's another text, one after the other on the subject of Benny Thompson. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Uncle Benny needs to go. Yes. Here's one from Kay. As someone who lives in Benny Thompson's district, can say with 100% certainty that he has done absolutely zero, nothing to benefit the Delta region of the state. Now, this is a person that lives in his district and always has. All right, y'all, we're coming up on a break at 7:20 in the morning, Wednesday, April 29th. The year is 2026. Be right back.
Don't forget to check out Cypress Point Resort. Memories are made at Cypress Point. Close to home, yet it feels miles away. At Cypress Point, you can truly get away from it all. You can step back to a simpler time, yet enjoy all the amenities of today. Cameron's Garage is a sports bar and music venue. There's a lunch buffet every day inside Cypress Point. They also have a steakhouse and the Tavern. The Tavern is a quaint little place with live music Wednesday through Saturday. And of course, you've got the Safari Park and Petting Zoo. Don't forget about all the event halls, including the Wedding Chapel and so much more. That's Cypress Point Resort, located at 874 Hollybush Road, Brandon, Mississippi. Contact them at 601-829-1101 or at cypresspointms.com.
Need reliable electrical work in central Mississippi? Call the pros at Electrical Solutions and Services right here in Pearl. From residential repairs to full commercial electrical services, They've got you covered. Panel upgrades, lighting installation, troubleshooting, even certified Tesla installation, and Generac generator sales and service. Plus, they're veteran-owned, bringing integrity and experience to every job. Located on St. Paul Street in Pearl, Mississippi. Call today. Electrical Solutions and Services, powering Central Mississippi with reliable electrical solutions.
Call 769-572-7597 today.
Every program in the Next ecosystem is designed to meet people where they are and take them where they want to go, in technology and in life. Mississippi Coding Academies is a nonprofit that bridges the digital divide, delivering accessible, affordable, and life-changing technology education across the globe. Funded by grants and donations that are truly making an impact at home and abroad. Learn coding, cybersecurity, and so much more with locations around the state of Mississippi. Go to mscoding.org today and go to your next level.
This Saturday, don't miss the party of the season. It's the Kentucky Derby Watch Party at Cameron's Garage. May 2nd, starting at 3:30 p.m. Watch the race live, then keep the party going all night. Enjoy live music from Love and Ledbetter. From 3:30 to 6:30, and Spank the Monkey takes the stage at 7 p.m. 2 bands, 1 big Derby celebration. Tickets are just $10 in advance at cypresspointms.com, but they go up to $15 at the door. So grab yours now. Dress up, show out, and experience the excitement of the Derby like never before. This Saturday at Cameron's Garage, where all of your friends are. This Saturday, don't miss the party of the season.
Wake up in the morning. Welcome back to the Unleashed Media Radio Show and live stream with your host, Daryl Arnold.
We on fire!
We on fire on a hump day, Wednesday, hump day. All right, listen, y'all, we got the line dance thing going on at Cameron's Garage tonight. Line dance lessons followed up by the big line dance party. This thing was really fun last time. I don't particularly line dance, but it looks amazingly fun. It's a great hangout. Today is Wednesday hump day, so it's the big line dance party going on at Cameron's Garage. Also, we have Nick Bernard playing tonight on Wednesday hump day over in the Tavern, Steakhouse, the Tavern. 6 to 9 p.m., Nick Bernard. But you don't want to miss this line dance thing. They bring their own DJ. They bring their dance ladies. And they not only put on a show, but you're invited to dance with them in the show and take some good dance lessons, too. My friends do that. It's going to be fun. It happens once a month over at Cameron's Garage. So check out the Facebook page immediately, which is at Cypress Point MS on Facebook. There's a TikTok. There's Cameron's Garage on Instagram as well, and etc. Check all that out. It's all happening at 874 Holly Bush Road, Brandon, Mississippi. Your one-stop shop for basically every freaking thing. And I mean that. Oh, my goodness. I'll be there. Can't wait to see you. Cannot wait to see you, my friends, there. We, man, can't believe we've been able to talk about Beanie Thompson and gerrymandering and horrible leadership for the last few minutes. Oh, my God. You want a good laugh? Do you want a great laugh? Do you want a great giggle? You want to basically run off the road laughing if you're driving? No, I don't want you to run off the road. But I do want you to laugh and smile. Elon Omar, the loser, far left part of the squad known as the Progressive Liberal Party. How this person ever got elected is still under investigation because, she's, anyway, supposedly married her brother. She's got a lot of things going on right now in the background with her financials and all of the Minnesota fraud that's going on because yesterday they were all up in there investigating the quality, quote, Leering Center instead of Learning Center. I don't know. But, when you're counting in Roman numerals, it's like a 1 and then 2, which is basically looks like 2 ones. Oh my God. It's unbelievable that somebody like this is in the United States Congress. I mean, I don't get it. And this is not fake. This is not AI. This is not a doctored audio clip either. This is for real. Really real. I still don't understand it, but it is real. And anyway. These audio clips are acting weird today.
The last time the Alien Enemies Act was invoked, it was used to detain and deport German, Japanese, Italian immigrants during World War XI. The last time the Alien Enemies Act was invoked, it was used to detain and deport German, Japanese, Italian immigrants during World War XI.
Okay. Oh my God. During World War XI, I wasn't aware we had World War XI. This is what's happening, y'all, in the country. Unfortunately, it's not AI and it is real. How does anyone at all have this type of position with this kind of IQ? I want to know. I want you to tell me. I want you to tell me clueless, uneducated, ignorant, anti-American. This is who was elected by the people of Minnesota. That's a comment. That's a comment. Nick Shirley, who's the one that's been going around the young, great gentleman, blowing up, taking care of these places. And I don't mean blowing up as in really blowing up, but igniting the internet, igniting people with knowledge about what all scams have been going on in Minnesota. He said everyone cut her some slack. She is the queen of the, quote, Leering Center. Good God. She's only 9 wars off, y'all. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty insane. That's pretty crazy. Good Lord. So, you all know. I don't have to say anything because one of our big listeners religiously is David Hall. He said, good morning. The airline Omar issue with her stupidity is about the same as the guy that thought the island was going to flip over too. Many people were on one side. They're all idiots. Yes. See, I got another text at 601-918-8409, 601-918-8409. Bill Clinton sealed an ironclad case against Benny. He would have definitely served time, but it didn't happen, though. It didn't happen. I don't know why, but it didn't. For sure, absolutely did not happen. You know, all these so-called far right, far left BS, complete lunatics that are out there engaging in grifting for clicks. You know, Dan Bongino showed up. I don't care what you think of him. This is not an argument about what you think about Dan Bongino. He went to D.C. He worked in the gutters. He saw stuff that actually scared him. This is him being candid, which is not a lot of the times is Dan Bongino candid.
What I will never be the same, and I'm being as serious as a stroke right now. Look, I'm scared, man. Like I know what I did, and I'm proud of my work, and I'm proud of what me and Cash accomplished in the past year. Beyond proud. I know what we did. I know what's coming. I know what I started. Some of it's I know what I laid out, and I know it's all you saw a lot of these cases coming out over the past few days, even. But don't think for a second that I don't think every day, and this is what's really sad, and this is why I know, and I never thought this after reading that enough Friday night, that they're going to come for me. And listen, man, it's not a sob story. I knew what I was getting into. But it happened to the president, and he went through just the worst, just destruction of his civil liberties I've ever seen. But I say to my wife all the time, I know, Sean, I can look you in the face as a friend, tell you and your millions of viewers and listeners, I promise you everything I did with a dotted I and a crossed T. I brought in my own attorney from the outside, person I trusted, a wonderful, wonderful person. I said, no, everything is going to be by the book. Everything. I'm confident in that. And you know what? It don't matter. They'll rewrite the book, just like they did for President Trump. And I said to my wife, I said, I got a 14-year-old. The presidency could change. I hope it doesn't in a little over 2 years. You don't think on election night, if we lose, like it's not going through my head, like they're going to send some thugs to my house?
That's the way that party is, y'all. That's why we need to nuke the filibuster, pass the Save America Act, and pass anything else we could possibly pass, because when they get into power, if they get into the power at the House and Senate, they will do that immediately. They'll pack the court with 13 Supreme Court justices. Every single thing we've done to fix this country in the last 20 years, or especially the last 10 years, will be done. Over. History. That's it, too, by the way. This is not a joke. This is not anybody overreacting, including me. Just the truth. We know it. The people who've been talking about this forever, we know, we understand. We understand completely. We understand that it won't just be weird looks because you're wearing a certain hat anymore. It will be all out. They're out to get you. They're out to get you, period. It's crazy. I mean, completely freaking crazy. Now, we talked about this earlier, but I got to play it again because the former senior advisor to Anthony Fauci has been indicted for his role in the COVID-19 cover-up, which is excellent news to me. Should be excellent news to everyone, actually, because these people locked us down. These people told us that we had to take something, even if we didn't want to. They took the freedom away and said, no, you're going to. You're going to. And then when people died from a certain disease or a certain pandemic, they blamed the people who refused to take it. They blamed it on us. Or you're murderers, you're killers, you're this, you're that. We didn't forget all that, y'all. We didn't forget that.
Dr. Anthony Fauci now facing criminal charges. This over an alleged cover-up involving research into the origins of COVID. Rich Edson on this story. Intriguing, Rich. What you find out there in Washington?
Yeah, it is, Bill. The Justice Department has charged David Morins, a doctor, with conspiracy, claiming he concealed federal records to counter evidence that COVID-19 may have leaked from a lab in China, all to help restore a controversial coronavirus grant. Morins, a former aide to Dr. Anthony Fauci, testified before the House's COVID Select Subcommittee nearly 2 years ago about emails he'd sent in February 2021, claiming that he'd learned to make emails disappear after he received Freedom of Information Act requests.
And now he's been indicted. And now the next step is indict Fauci. Crimes against humanity. Yes. Got a text message from Elizabeth. She said, oh, that's great. But does anyone actually think Fauci will be held accountable? Does anyone think Anthony Fauci will be held accountable? You tell me. 601-918-8409 is the Cypress Point Resort sponsored text line to reach me directly. Or you can jump in the chat. You can absolutely jump in the chat with us. Facebook, YouTube, Restream, Rumble, many pages on Facebook and groups too. But had to bring that up again. You got to. That's a story you got to bring up twice in case somebody was sleeping or when they're watching the show back later, they just happen to miss that part, because we don't want to miss that part, ladies and gentlemen. We do not want to miss that part. So boom, 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 another BLM grifter right over in one state over for us and from us over in Louisiana. The Supreme Court just suspended the law license. That's right, the law license of Black Lives Matter attorney. Tanzania Ruffin, by the way, after she was federally indicted for stealing nearly $250,000 from a client's family. These people have no shame. These folks, these grifters, these idiots, these far left Democrats, they have no shame, ladies and gentlemen. None at all. None at all. But, quote, New Orleans. She's from New Orleans. All right, no shame. But what will happen to her? What will happen to her with the justice system over in New Orleans? I don't know the answer. We all know what should happen, but what will happen is the better question. What will happen? So far, all they've done is suspend her for taking $250,000. The quote BLM.
So this hour, here's what else we are monitoring. The Louisiana Supreme Court suspends the law license of a lawyer, Tanzania Ruffin. This after she was federally indicted this month. She is accused of stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars from a client she represented for a battery case in Orleans Parish last year. Federal prosecutors charged her with a count of wire fraud. Ruffin's lawyer contends she paid the more than $250,000 she's accused of stealing, and she paid that back. She will enter a plea in the case next week. The Supreme Court says Ruffin is barred from practicing law until further notice.
Another grifter. Another grifter. They're all the same. They're all the same. I mean, really? A BLM lawyer stealing from a client? Whatever. They're all the same. They are. What I don't understand is why all ALL, all the Supreme Courts around the country is what I'm trying to say, all of them, why they're not suspending all the crooked judges' licenses. I mean, I don't get it. And why is this lady not arrested and thrown in jail over in NOLA in New Orleans? See how she likes it over there. Anyway. Suspended. Okay, so they suspended her license. So what does one have to do to get your license revoked nowadays? Let's ask that question. What does one have to do to get your license revoked nowadays? I have no freaking idea. I don't have any idea what one needs to do anymore to get your license revoked. I don't think anybody knows. Okay? I really and truly don't. Because apparently it's a lot. Apparently it's a lot. We're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. My name is Daryl Arnold. We'll be right back with you at Unleashed, Uninhibited, Unapologetic, 104.3 FM, along with the Restream and live stream.
If you or a loved one need reliable medical equipment, trust a name Mississippi has depended on for over 20 years. Mobility Medical, located right in Flowood, is your local family-owned source for mobility and home healthcare solutions. From power wheelchairs and scooters to lift chairs that help you relax in comfort, they've got everything you need to stay independent and live better every day. Need help at home? Mobility Medical offers hospital beds, tables, and essential supplies, and more. What sets them apart? It's their personalized service. Their experienced team works one-on-one with you to find the right equipment. Serving all of Mississippi and beyond with in-store support and delivery options available. Mobility Medical, helping you move better, live better, and stay independent. Visit them today in Flowood or call to learn more.
Toto? I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
You're not. You're in Pearl, Mississippi. Listening to Power 104.3, The Pirate, where we play almost everything.
Oh, yeah, we're back, y'all. We're back. It is 7:45 in the morning on April 29th. We'll do a couple of live reads here. Let's talk about May 2nd. It's this coming Saturday at Cypress Point Resort, located over on the Cameron's Garage side. We're having the Kentucky Derby event of the year. The Kentucky Derby event of the year. Now, let's talk about what that means. We had a huge time last year at the, can't believe I've been there so long, but we had a huge time last year at the Kentucky Derby event. It was really good. I mean, real good, including the turnout. So a lot of people like to dress up. A lot of people like to do the Kentucky Derby event. You know, the girls, the ladies wear the big hats. It's all good. It's all fun. So anyway, it is Kentucky Derby Saturday, this coming Saturday, May 2nd. And it starts at 3:30 p.m. over at Cameron's Garage, with the band Love and Ledbetter starting at 3:30 p.m. Come watch the race. Keep the party going all night. Enjoy live music, like I said, from Love and Ledbetter, 3:30 to 6:30, and then Spank the Monkey. That's right, the one and only original Spank the Monkey. Only doing one show in anywhere around here in a 3-hour drive at 4-hour. Takes the stage around 7-ish. 2 bands, 1 big derby. Tickets are $10, y'all. They're only $10. You pay more than that to go see a normal band at a normal, quote, bar. Tickets are just $10 in advance at cypresspointms.com, cypresspointms.com. Click on events. You can't miss it. But they go up to $15 at the door. So grab yours now. Please go ahead and grab those tickets now. Dress up, show up, and experience the excitement of the Derby like never before. This Saturday at Cameron's Garage, located at Cypress Point. Again, $15 at the door, $10 in advance. No brainer. No brainer. It just works. Okay, it works. So come out, please. Gonna be a big time fun party anyway, with 2 great bands and one band that doesn't play anywhere else. You remember them from the past. You know all the locations they played at: the Reservoir, downtown, North Jackson, Mid Jackson, all over, man. Okay, all over. So we're hosting that big party. We want to see you there. We want to see you all there. And another one of our brand new sponsors, is the Electrical Service and Solution in Pearl, Mississippi, Central Mississippi's great electrical service, because you need all this. You want all of it, but you need it. It's not something that you just want, it's something that you need. So they offer comprehensive electrical services throughout Central Mississippi, including residential, commercial, electrical panel upgrades, lighting installation, certified Tesla EV charging, and of course, generator sales and services. And we all know how important the generators are in this state. And it's a veteran-owned business. That's why I'm on board with them. That's why we love them. We support veterans big time on this show. They get a military discount, okay, period, because they're veterans. They support other veterans. Let them know that you're a veteran, or let them know that you're in the military, or your family members in the military. Please let them know. And when you walk through the door, or when you call this number, 769-572-7597. Call the number. Let them know Daryl sent you from Unleashed. They'll hook you up. That is your magic code word. DARRELL, Daryl. So use that. Use it. Great folks. Our friend Clayton Pell works there. And whatever he's doing, I'm definitely going to support. So Y'all check it out. It's a great thing. We'll just leave it at that. It's a great thing. Okay. So, he's the service manager over there. Clayton is. We all know him. He plays the heck out of bass, but he also has always been an electrician. So let him help you out. Do it. As we always say, do it. All right, what are we going to talk about? We got about 11 or 9 minutes. You pick one, 9 or 11 minutes. 9 or 11 minutes. Oh, my goodness gracious. We already got all over bad boy Benny Thompson today. Movies. Okay, movies over the last, since early 2000s. Movies became woke. W-O-K-E. And we weren't paying attention, apparently. And I'm just as guilty as y'all are in the very beginning.
Movies started becoming woke. They couldn't help themselves. And then the actors made so much money on them. They believe their own hype. They believe that they are the superheroes and they need to tell us serfs the way it is. So actors that would normally come along, do a press conference, hey, blah, 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 and leave, started getting involved in politics. And, it was like an unwritten rule. When I used to do publicities, you just don't talk about those things. It's not relevant. But the truth is, the actors started making about themselves and not the product.
Yeah, everything was about them. And bringing their political thuggery ideology into the fact that it was all about them. And honestly, it's not all about them. I mean, actors have the right, of course, to speak out about anything. Of course they do. But the best actors are the ones that you don't hear talking all that smack. You actually rarely see them anywhere outside the films they do. That are the real those rather are the real actors. Those are the real actors.
And then the actors made so much money on them. They believe their own hype. They believe that they are the superheroes and they need to tell us serfs
Anyway,
the way
that's just a little Hollywood audio post right there that made a lot of sense to me. It made a whole lot of sense because it's true. I put a post up on my regular Facebook last night and I said, hey, two words that describe Jimmy Kimmel. Let's read some of this before we get out of here. Let's read some of this before we get out of here. And keep in mind, this is mostly local people. Not necessarily going to call your name, but we'll go through here. The first one is S stain. We all know what S stands for. Second one is douchebag. We know what that means. Third one is jerk off. We know what that one means. An old friend said scumbag. Yeah, that's two words. Describes Jimmy Kimmel for sure. Skid mark. Punk. B-I. You know what it means. Punk, you know what. Bleep and bleep. And then they said, there, I fixed it for the FCC. Yeah, bleep and bleep. Here's one that really tickled me. For real, an old friend that does not live here locally, but penicillin resistant. Jimmy Kimmel, penicillin resistant. I like it. I like it. Oh my God. Egghead. Yeah, I like that one too. dark world. Yeah, because he definitely lives in a dark world. Hateful, disgraceful. Correct. Liberal cuck. Yes. Comprised, owned. That's 100%. That's 100% with all of them. Lying hypocrite. Yes, that's absolutely true, Emmett. So many put libtard, demon rat, Satan spawn, low rent. I haven't heard that one in a while. Low rent. That boy's low rent. That man's low rent. Yeah, Jimmy Kimmel. That was some local notes for some caring folks for you there from Mississippi, Mr. Kimmel. Some caring notes for some people from Mississippi. Now, before we get out of here, this next one's very important because Clay Travis from Outkick went to the dinner at the hotel, the White House dinner, a few nights back. And I know Trump and everybody says that the Secret Service did a good job, which they, in fact, did inside the room. But what about the outside perimeter? What about the way it really worked?
Easier to get into the White House Correspondents' Dinner Hotel than it would be to get into a game. No security at all to get into the hotel. No wanding. So you had to flash a paper ticket that said, hey, I've got a ticket to the White House Correspondents' Dinner. You could have had a printed off, made up ticket. We are so incredibly fortunate that this was only one guy and that he didn't choose to try to start shooting people until the Correspondents' Dinner had already started. I do not think right now that the Secret Service is giving him elite protection. Somebody getting this close to the president and firing a gun is not good. It's a failure, a breakdown of epic proportions. And again, because I believe that assassination attempt 4 and 5 is coming, maybe 6 too, they're not going to stop. This isn't a flaw in the system. This is intentional. They have convinced large numbers of Democrats that in order for the country to survive, Trump must be killed. By the way, if Democrats take back control of the House, in theory, Hakeem Jeffries would be third up for the presidency, meaning J.D. Vance and Donald Trump are going to be even more targets in the potential future of the final 2 years of their administration.
That's pretty crazy, insane stuff there, Mr. Travis. But all he's doing is telling the truth of what possibilities there are. Because the Dollar General, T-Mew, Hakeem Jeffries, that guy is a 100% loser. He wants nothing but bad things to happen to anyone that doesn't think with his fake Obama ideology. If you're against him, he's against you. Put it that way. If you are against him at all whatsoever, he doesn't like you. He doesn't like anything about you. Top of the hour, time to go, y'all. 104.3 FM is the Pirate. Also, the live stream on Facebook, YouTube, Restream, and many Facebook pages and groups, and at Daryl Arnold MS on Facebook as well. Y'all have a great day. Have a great day. We'll be back Friday morning and push into the weekend and push out the end of the week with everything. Because remember, we talk about everything almost right here from Unleashed Media on the Unleashed Talk show. My name is Daryl. You know, you're waiting on it. See ya.
Thank you all for tuning in. Hashtag unfiltered, hashtag unapologetic. America First Talk at its best. Where we party the right way. See you next time, or else.